it's Nick. So, I'm sorry I haven't been so active this week. I have the flu, which is probably why I sound different. So I've just been resting and trying to feel better, although it's not working very well. I don't know, I just feel really bad right now. But, also, before we get into the video, good news, I had my consultation for testosterone yesterday, and I did not expect this was going to happen, but I ended up starting testosterone yesterday, so I'm super pumped about that. I feel absolutely amazing in regards to that. So I'm going to make a video about that sometime pretty soon, but I am one day on testosterone, so I'm feeling great about that. So this video is basically going to be my experience with having severe OCD, and what that means for me, because OCD is a huge spectrum, and people don't really realize that it doesn't just mean being organized and cleaning your room and not liking germs. OCD means a lot more than that. There are types of OCD. Some people's OCD is related to germs, and some people's OCD is related to being organized or having things a certain way, but it's a lot more than that people don't really understand. And everyone has different things that go along with their OCD, so I'm just going to be talking a little bit about mine and my experience with it. OCD means obsessive compulsive disorder. So what that means is you begin to obsess about something, which leads to a compulsion, or you obsess over something, so you have to do something about it. It's basically a lot of consequences in your mind. So I have a lot of rituals, so things that I have to do in my brain to make myself feel better. So one of my big rituals or things that I do has to do with numbers. Most people like even numbers. Even numbers make me very anxious, so I have to have odd numbers of a lot of things. So if I tap on something once, I'll have to tap on it 3 times, and then tap on it with the other hand 3 times, and then both hands 3 times. So it's like, my big number is 3. I have to do everything 3 times, or a lot of things 3 times. And so if I tap on something 3 times, and I do it 3 times with the other hand, and then I do it 3 times with both hands, it's 3 times total, which is 9, which is still an odd number, but it's still, I did 3 things 3 times. I don't know. But I get really anxious if I don't do it. I'm really good at hiding my compulsions because I got diagnosed when I was 7. So I know how to deal with it. A lot of the things that I do that have to do with my OCD aren't physical rituals, they're more of mental things. So like, clarification and reassurance is something that I need all the time, and if I don't get it, I'll like obsess over it like over and over again, and it's like my brain is a broken record player. So if a teacher says something and I already know what she means, but for some reason my brain catches whatever phrase she just said or whatever thing she said, and I have to clarify what she meant, even though I already knew what she meant. So I would ask her the question in a different way, and if I didn't ask her, then I would obsess over and think about it over and over and over again. Same thing goes with friends and relationships and family. Like, I always ask people things that I know the answer to, because I feel like I have to. A big component of OCD is guilt and confession. So when I was younger, right before I got diagnosed, I was like 6 or 7, I would think about all the things that I've done in the past couple years or months, like really little things, and I would stay up until like 1 in the morning, and I would have to confess them to my mom or tell her that I had one time stolen 1 piece of candy, like something like that, and I would just have to confess it, and if I didn't, I felt like there would be a consequence. A lot of the consequences back then that I thought I would have were I'm going to hell, because I was raised very Christian, and God is a big part of my life, and I thought these thoughts that I was having was God telling me to do these things, so I thought if I didn't do what he told me to do, because I didn't understand what OCD was, so I thought if I didn't do these things, I was going to hell. A big one that I thought was my mom will die, or my family will die, or my pets. Death has always been kind of a thing that my OCD goes straight to. If I don't blink 3 times in a row, like my mom's gonna die, that's literally how it works. And I know that doesn't make sense and it's not logical, but that's just how it works. And luckily I've dealt with it for so long that I know that my mom's not gonna die if I don't blink 3 times. Even though I know my mom isn't gonna die if I don't do a certain thing, I'll get anxious until I do it. So I learned over the years that those thoughts that I was having and that I still have were actually, it's called intrusive thoughts, and it runs hand in hand with OCD. It's a part of OCD, and when you have OCD severely, you get them a lot more often. So, and everyone gets intrusive thoughts every single day, but not as severe or as often as people with OCD. So an example of like an intrusive thought that like a normal person would have is if you're driving and you come to a stoplight and then you think, oh, I could just run like straight into traffic. It sounds really horrible, but I know everyone has those thoughts. Like, that's a thing. So mine are like that, except probably 10 times more than a normal person, and things trigger them, and they're a lot more gruesome, and I see them. It's like a dream, so it's not a hallucination, but I see it in my head. It's like I zone out, and I see it in a daydream. They're just passing thoughts now that happen. Sometimes they're really bad, some days they're worse than others, but for the most part I know how to handle it. This is just what I have. I don't want to be characterized by the mental illness that I have. Like, that's not who I am. That's just a part of, you know, what I have. Last thing before I end this video, if anyone says that they have OCD, please don't chime in and say, me too, my room is so clean, or me too, I always have to color code my notes when I take notes in class, or, oh yeah, like, please don't pretend you have OCD or make jokes about OCD or try to be quirky with it, because it's not. It is not what you see on TV. Some people have those things, but there's so many other things that go along with OCD that you don't know about, so trying to be quirky and relatable is honestly, like, it's not offensive, it just pisses me off, and a lot of people that I know that have OCD, it upsets us because you don't know what it's like to actually have OCD. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for making this a safe place for me to talk, and I hope you feel safe as well. Subscribe if you liked my content, leave me a like if you wanna, and I'll have another video up soon. Peace.